Alton Amphitheater Commission. How are we doing today?
Not too bad.
Well, this is always fun, man. Every time we get a opportunity to talk the Food Truck Festival, it's always great because, man, thousands of people are down there each and every year, and this weather on Saturday looks pretty good.
Knock on wood, this may be the best weather we've ever had for what will be the 10th edition of the Food Truck Festival.
Well, and now there's a lot of food trucks, too. That's what I think's great, and just seeing the sights and sounds of it all, Sauce Magazine coming to be a part of it. You know, as an Amphitheater Commission Chair, what's that mean to you to see all these pieces in action and just watching this develop?
Well, this event's always fun because it's a free event. People can roam the riverfront, get some food, hang out with their friends. People bring their own 10x10 tents, their lawn chairs. We always have great music. This year it's Rock Mafia. 17 trucks on the books right now with potential for more coming in over this week. So if the weather holds, we're going to have a really good day on Saturday.
What I think's great about getting into the Food Truck Festival is the journey itself, you know, because there's always one or two that, you know, limp along on the road or might get there, might not. But throughout the day, there's going to be so many opportunities to go ahead and, you know, patronize these folks and really just enjoy the day. And now, Rock Mafia, do they play right off the bat at 4?
Right off the bat at 4 o'clock. Then they'll play all the way until 8 o'clock when we're done. And then I encourage everybody to go right next door to the marina for their party, and they're going to have music as well that evening.
And, you know, with that, too, the marinas being right next door, do you guys kind of play off of it each and every year, correct?
This has worked out very well. When we first started this event, or when it first started, I wasn't on the commission at the time, but it's ended up falling on the day of the marina's anniversary party, and it works well. We have people from the marina that come over to the amphitheater, and then we encourage folks to go from the amphitheater over to the marina and see what a gem that is that Alton has to offer.
Well, and also a good opportunity just to walk around the amphitheater grounds, you know, and I mean, $0 to go into the Food Truck Festival. Now you got to use some cash to pay for the food, but just to walk around, get the sights and sounds, and be a part of it is something too.
Well, the full grounds are open for this event. People can stake out their spot, and we in 10 years we've started to see people just like the fireworks.
Yep.
They have their spots, and they get there early to claim their spots. And I always encourage folks to get there early, especially with the weather that we're going to have this year. Scope out the trucks, see what you like, and get in line, because in past years, lines are growing because this is one of the most popular events we do each year.
I'm still waiting for the Fast Pass tickets, folks. I keep pushing for them. You know, as we're getting back in, just to follow up with what you just said about the table, just their spots, there was a lady last year that, I mean, it was her mission. That table was her family's table, and you hit it right on the head. Did you ever envision, you know, or maybe the commission ever envision the Food Truck Festival to come up to par almost with, not up to par, but in a realm to the Fireworks on the Mississippi event?
We always knew it would be a good event, and to watch it grow over the years has been phenomenal. And there has been talk, and we've looked at ways, how could we make it even bigger? And hopefully someday we will. I mean, that's always the goal, bigger and better. But as it stands now, our best year in 2019, it was estimated roughly 6,000 people came through the riverfront. Last year, even with bad weather, we had rain all day. We were holding out, and for some reason, the skies cleared. Well, it was cloudy, but the rain stopped. We still got the event in, and it was still estimated over 3,000 people came through, even with bad weather. It's
just incredible. I mean, it really is. And now the Sauce Magazine partnership, take me through that. Who approached who? Was that something that was already there?
That was facilitated initially, I believe, in Eventive's first year with the amphitheater back prior to my time on the commission. But it's been a great partnership for what would be the 11th. We lost 2020 to COVID, so this is our 10th edition. They organize it. They take a lot off our plate because they have the relationships with the trucks in the region, and we've pretty well tapped them out over the years. And that's been one of the conversations we've had. If we did try to go bigger, how far would we have to reach out to get more trucks in? Because, like I said, we pretty well tapped it out.
Well, and that's what I was wondering, too, is how many trucks are truly in the area, you know, and especially now, do you guys worry about, or is this a sauce question about what type of food is there? You know, I'm sure you don't want to have two, you know, taco trucks right next to each other.
They do a really good job of making sure we have a very wide variety of options for folks. And when we do have there's two barbecue trucks on this year. They won't be right next to each other, so they're not competing, because we want people to walk around
Right.
and look at everything, not just zero in on one or two things.
Well, and I also saw that for the folks that maybe just want to go and take a stroll, why don't you stop by one of the concession stands from the amphitheater and grab some nice cold drinks?
Well, the Amphitheater Commission will be selling both alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages, wide variety. We still think we keep the price pretty in check compared to any other event you can go to.
You really do. I mean, all the way across the board, because it seems like with events, when you go and buy the ticket, you aren't just paying the ticket price there. You're going to be paying on top of that probably double in some venues, but not at the amphitheater. It really is a nicely priced venue. And Dan, getting to Rock Mafia, what type of music are we going to be hearing from them?
They're predominantly a rock band, but they do weave in some blues and a little bit of country here and there, but they're overall a very high energy rock band, and we think they're going to be a great addition. We've always had good luck with the musical entertainment we've had, and it's become an integral part of the event, so we're looking forward to welcoming them to our Riverfront. I
love it. Well, just looking at some of the names that are coming down to the amphitheater for the Food Truck Festival, some returning favorites, some that I haven't seen before but I'm eager to try. Fill me in on some that you'd like to give a shout out to.
Well, some of the returning favorites, I always give a shout out to a local truck, Pig on a Wing. Doughboys Wood-Fired Pizza's been here multiple times. Tuk Tuk Thai, I've noticed that has been a popular truck. Mr. Noodle is back this year, and Go Euro Goes. Those are some that have been here before that have become fan favorites. We do have a couple of barbecue trucks and a couple of new trucks.
Beastcraft Barbecue is awesome.
They've been here multiple times. They do a great job. I encourage folks to go to the amphitheater website and check out the full list.
Well, and honestly, it's more than worth it. And you can see that by going to AltonRiverfrontAmphitheater.com. Click on the Food Truck Festival page. You go right to it, and it gives you the full lineup, plus the opportunity that Dan just said that more might be on the horizon. Mm-hmm. What I think's really unique about this week is that you guys have a quick turnaround, because right after this week, it's let's shift gears and let's go into jazz and wine. How are we looking?
Jazz and Wine is shaping up. Knock on wood, the weather looks absolutely perfect for that event as well. We're really looking forward to having Jim Manley back on our stage on the 31st of August, the following weekend, along with Left of West and the Alton Jazz Confluence. Tickets are selling. I encourage people, go to metrotix.com. If you want to sit on that stage, get your ticket.
Well, and honestly, I mean, tickets are great. A four-top table, that's $100 for four. So if you have, maybe you're doing two couples, well, $50 a piece, or just get a two-top for $50, $10 for general admission, and then Brown Bag Bistro are coming back.
We're going to have charcuterie trays from Brown Bag Bistro. I believe they're going to be back as a vendor themselves. I haven't confirmed that with Lindsay just yet. She's still working on firming up the vendors, but we'll have similar vendors that we've had in the past, and we're going to have that wide variety of wines.
Well, and it seems like, too, I mean, when you have Jim Manley coming in with over 10,000 nights of music, I mean, that's a pretty unheard of number. But you also have this way to diversify everything with Left of West that has this kind of funk rock jazz vibe. The Confluence Band is what I go for, because those kids are talented.
They're going to be the stars that are going to headline this event somewhere down the road.
Well, and now that it's evolved to where it is, take me through the preparations now. Are you guys pretty much set in stone from last year? Hey, we have this. It works. Let's keep this going.
Over the past 2 years with the Jazz Bistro style, setting up our own jazz club, outdoor jazz club on the stage, right around up close and personal with the musicians, we finally hit on something that we really think works, and we keep trying to find ways to add more tables.
I just love it. And, take me through what the commissioners are chatting about now. You got the Food Truck Festival, Jazz and Wine. What's some of their excitement?
Well, we're very excited about these two events, and then following that, we have the expo coming up to get ready for. But we just had a meeting Monday, I guess it was, our regular meeting, and we're already not only doing last-minute preparations for events this year, but looking forward to next year and already starting to talk about budget and what we think we can do and how we're going to reach out to sponsors. Because like I always say, every time I'm on, it all comes down to the money. So we're out there looking at ideas to raise more money so that we can do more on the riverfront.
Well, and it seems like the commission is fired up for next year, too. That's wonderful.
It's great to see the enthusiasm from across the commission. I'm the one that sits here and does these interviews for some ungodly reason. but I give credit to all the commissioners. They put a lot of time in. We're all volunteers. Everybody is working their tails off. We want this to be as good as it can be, so we're going to keep chugging away, and we're going to start not only working on the events for this year, but looking toward next year.
It's wonderful. Completely wonderful. And as we're getting back, just touching base on food truck again, wrapping this up, what is your favorite food truck that's ever been down to the amphitheater, ever, of all the food truck festivals?
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't say Pig on a Wing is a personal favorite over the years, and they've been a great partner not only with this event, but in other events as well, and a partner we can call on last minute. But there was one called Frankly Sausages, I think, back in one of the very first years that we had. That was a St. Louis company. At one time, they had a brick and mortar store. I don't know if it still exists, but I was always very impressed with them. That was just a personal favorite. And Go Euro Go is always one of my favorites.
That's what I was getting ready to pick.
I know Soul Taco is a favorite of a lot of people. They're not on the list this year, unfortunately, but we hope to get them back in the future because they have been a fan favorite.
Well, and what's some of your advice maybe for a couple that moved into town or someone who's never gone before of what time to get there? Food trucks sell out pretty quickly at this.
Well, we've gotten good enough now. They generally have enough food to last our crowd, but
cool.
They do generally sell out. But it's not until the very end. We haven't in the last few years had any that have run out early because most of them have been here at one time or another and have figured out the system, and they keep coming back because we do draw so many people to this event. So I encourage folks, you can get down there a little early, even though they won't start selling until 4, music won't start until 4, but if you want to get there and walk around and look at their menus, I would encourage you to do so.
Man, I can't wait, seriously. And honestly, what I didn't mean to scare you, by the way. You didn't mean to get there earlier. It's all over, But as we're talking about just the food truck festival going into Jazz and Wine, what's that turnaround process look for you guys in Inventive? It's obviously the stage isn't set up to the max, but you still have some tear down and transition.
Well, thankfully with food truck, there's not a lot of setup in and of itself other than putting out some tables and chairs and umbrellas and things like that. So really there's not a huge tear down from that event, which makes it a whole lot easier on all of us. And then the setup for Wine and Jazz will start next week, I guess. We'll bring in the stage. That'll be set up. The tables will be set up that morning of the event. So really the turnaround on these is actually pretty easy in the grand scheme of compared to a national event where there's a whole lot more moving parts.
100%. And Dan, just always like talking with you about these events. Some of my favorites, the Food Truck Festival is my favorite event. And then Jazz and Wine's become just a staple for so many. And actually what I think's cool, and I don't know, you've definitely probably picking this up, is just the couples that have made this one of their date nights of the summer.
It has become an evening where people can go on a date. I like to say it's a very classy event. If people haven't been there, they don't realize you really can set up a jazz club outdoors on our stage.
Right. That's what blows my mind every time.
It is an intimate setting where you're up close and personal with the musicians.
And, I mean, we aren't talking just, any musician either. Jim Manley's one of the greatest in St. Louis. He's been on my music show in prior lives, and he's just wonderful.
He's a legend in St. Louis. He's a very good recording artist. He's known not only in this region, he's known across the country, but he is an absolute St. Louis legend.
CJ, how do you get tickets? Good question. You can go to metrotix.com for your Jazz and Wine tickets, or if you need more information, you go to altonriverfrontamphitheater.com. You can see the purchase tickets tab there. You'll click on that. It'll take you right to it. Or for more information on the Alton Food Truck Festival, you can go to that same website, altonriverfrontamphitheater.com. Dan Herkert, anything else I'm forgetting?
That's it. I just hope to see everybody out on Saturday having a good time.
We'll be there, and I'll see you there too. We'll be live on hand for the Food Truck Festival and for more in the Riverbend that Saturday night. But for right now, go to altonriverfrontamphitheater.com and stick around with me because we'll be right back after this.